G's, 4 G's, yeah. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, let's go. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, look. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, yeah. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, let's go. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, look. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. We got Shot, Dot, Malcolm, Chris the King, plus the Doc. You know that's like 4 G's. Sports Mind. Real world, real problems, real news, real sports. We gon' let you know right here on 4 G's. 4 G's.
Welcome to another episode of 4G Sports. Before we even get started, you already know what I'm about to say. Hit the subscribe button, and like my man Doc says, hit that bell, all right? Today, we got a special show. We got the Speed Kill podcast along with the 4Gs. But before we introduce everybody, this episode of 4G Sports Podcast is brought to you by My Cozy Creations and Daphne Cozy, all right? I'm the OG as always.
I'm the king as always.
Mm-hmm. You know what it is. You got the Doc.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to let these two gentlemen explain and introduce themselves from the Speed Kills podcast. Gentlemen, welcome.
Oh, man, thanks for having us on. You know, it's glad to be back, you know, on another episode of 4Gs. You know how I do it.
Yes,
my name is Marcus Jones.
Yes,
one of the hosts of Speed Kill podcast. And also, my boy Art's not here. He's a little bit under the weather. You know, so I hope you wish him nothing but good luck and speedy recovery. And I'm going to let my other partner introduce themselves.
What's going on, fellas? I'm Delawn. And let me say that Marcus is the creator of Speed Killz. So he's the one that put it all together, brought us on. And then we work it together. We finesse it together as we go along. But thank you for having me on the show.
No problem. So, hey, let's get right into it. There's a lot of stuff that happened in sports. Should we start with college ball? Should we start with pro ball? Where y'all want to go?
Actually, I got something I kind of want to start with before today's games start. I think we should get into a little bit of predictions on today's two games that are going to be played.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind starting it off because I'm gonna go outside the norm, and I'm gonna take Cleveland over Kansas City, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the Saints over Tampa. So that's my prediction today.
King, we're gonna save you for last because I already know where you're going. Marcus, what's your prediction for this week?
It ain't those two picks. You know, I went to college in the Midwest, so you know, and me and Delawn was actually my coach was parked at Taco Bell in front of KC for about 2 hours, waiting for him to leave his wife, you know, as he dropped us off. So my prediction is, you know, KC.
Okay.
And nothing against you, Chris, but KC is just going. I'll say by 2 TDs. I don't want to make it a set last time, but I would say 2 TDs. No, and then I got to go the other way. I'm gonna have to roll with the GOAT Tom Brady today, you know, because I think he has a little bone to pick, you know, with the Saints. So those are who I'm picking right there. Those are my 2 picks.
Okay.
All right. D, what's your prediction, sir? I'm gonna wait because this me. I'm gonna fight with my cousin real quick.
So I don't know if Doc was watching the TV that's on behind him to see that KC already got points on the board.
Oh. God,
I'm assuming it's up there as wall, you know, as like wallflower because KC already got 6 points. So I got to roll with KC.
I heard that.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Yeah. And then that second game, you know, Alvin Kamara, it's hard to bet against that man.
Yeah,
it's hard to bet against him. So I'm going with the Saints. I think Drew Brees. I think this is last and final hurrah, and I think he might take him to the next level. So I'm going with Saints.
Okay.
All right. Well, we already kind of picked these earlier in a couple of shows back, but I'm gonna still stick with KC. It might be a little rough in the first half because I don't think the offense really played in the past 3 weeks. So I think the second half is when they're really going to put the gas on. But I don't think it'll be two. I'll say probably like maybe 20-17, 27-7, something like that. KC. And I'm going for the three-peat with the Saints. Sorry, I'm going with the three-peat. Michael Thomas is back. Right. Michael Thomas is back. Alvin Kamara. I mean, last time the man played, he had 6 touchdowns. So I'm going. That's the way I'm gonna go. All right, King, it's on you.
2 words: dog pound. Period. Now,
you know you got to Pittsburgh, right?
If y'all don't score this first drive to match KC energy, it's gonna be blow out. Those are 2 words. Those are 2 words you're gonna have to hear for the rest of the game. Blow out, not dog pound. It's gonna be blow out.
Oh man!
Now
I'm telling you, if y'all don't match that energy, Chris, and y'all don't put up points on this drive, it's gonna be blow out.
I heard that last week against Pittsburgh, and
that's Pittsburgh. Come on, everybody know Pittsburgh was a fluke.
Stop.
Everybody know Pittsburgh was a fluke. Come on, they beat nobody. Pittsburgh beat nobody all year.
First of all, Marcus, we can't even talk. We smashed y'all this year.
Chris, we was terrible. Everybody knew we were
y'all
terrible
this year. Doc, we didn't play y'all.
Y'all terrible. Chris, if y'all don't score this first drive, it's blow out. And I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna pick up your phone.
And I'm gonna
you better pick. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say blow out.
All I know is this: where are y'all teams playing at as of right now?
Right, here we go, Chris, y'all ain't been in the playoffs since my daughter was born. My daughter 21, and y'all just barely got in the playoffs now.
Let me ask you this, Marcus.
21.
What time your team
21? What time? What are y'all gonna win today?
Where are y'all at in the draft?
Oh, we 6, baby. I'm cool with that.
Where
have y'all been? Y'all got Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel. No, we can keep going on for all the quarterbacks y'all picked.
Still playing.
How many quarterbacks did y'all pick in the past 6 years?
Still, we're playing today.
How many quarterbacks in 6 years have y'all picked?
726.
Y'all Tim Couch. Man, can I keep going on and on?
Oh, Couch. God damn.
That's name I haven't heard in a while.
God damn.
We're playing today.
Yeah, you're right. Y'all get to play an extra 2 games.
Hey,
I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for y'all.
Love me for me. Love me.
Okay, I love. Hey, Chris. I am glad Cleveland is playing. The state of Cleveland is actually doing good this year. Y'all went to the championship for college football, and y'all playing today. Hey, congratulations.
Well, let me tell you.
Pittsburgh had that same attitude last week. They gonna go down and dump us again. Oh, y'all beat our third string the week before, blah, 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 blah. And then what happened? We came out.
I never said that.
On the road.
I never said that.
Well, Juju gave them a little bit of different bulletin board material.
But, Marcus, we played y'all this season.
We was terrible. Everybody knew we were terrible. Come on, man.
Okay,
you getting excited about that?
Yes.
Oh, you're excited about that? Oh, you getting excited about that? Ooh.
Who's Marcus' team?
We won 11
I'm the Eagles fan. We've been in turmoil all year. So
I haven't won 11 games in 7 years. Like, let me love me for me.
We can't brag about beating the Eagles. They beating themselves.
Yeah, you're excited about that.
Allow me to rep my squad. I didn't jump shit when they were 0-16. I didn't jump when they were 1-15. I rolled the wave.
If y'all win a championship this year, I'll say, hey, y'all won them. Y'all like us. Y'all got a championship.
1,000 quarterbacks, 1,000 running backs. I stayed with my dog pound. Allow me to bark.
Let me tell you why I respect that so much. I respect that so much because you see what I'm dealing with over here. My entire life is not jumping ship on my team. But The other reason I'm pulling for the Browns is
we gonna win.
number 94, Adrian Claiborne. No, check this out. Number 94, Adrian Claiborne was born with Erb's palsy, just like my son, with a partially paralyzed arm. So I'm always pulling for Adrian. So I hope Adrian go out there and get that dub.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I would say Adrian get and have a great game. I'll take that, but I don't see them get the dub. No. Hey,
I knew it.
It's all right.
I knew it. I knew it.
There it is.
All right, what's your prediction for the second game? We already got the dog pound.
There's 2 games today? I wasn't paying attention to the second.
Come on.
No, I'm gonna go with man. The Saints are the truth. I mean, that Tom Brady finds a way to win, bro.
He does.
He finds a way to get there, and he finds a way to get a dub, man. I'm gonna say Tampa Bay by 7.
Okay. It's gonna be a close game.
It's gonna be a good one. Regardless,
is Mike Evans playing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think everybody are healthy on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully both the quarterbacks got their walkers.
Yeah.
The old asses.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
I said, hopefully them old quarterbacks got their walkers, them old selves out there. 40 years old.
All you need is
The
an arm.
History Channel Bowl.
That's it.
I think AB gonna have a breakout game. I think.
Go ahead, OG.
So that's 2 for the Browns, 3 for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
How many for the Saints?
I would say 1.
Just me?
No, it's 3 for the Saints.
3 for the Saints.
3 for the Saints.
3 for the Saints.
2
and
for
2
Tampa.
for 2 for Tampa.
All right. Now, if that caused the argument, I think this next topic, we're gonna be here for the whole show.
Oh my
God. Let's talk
is this Fat Harding?
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh
yes,
my
it is. We got to go there. But I'm gonna flip it. Who got the best of that trade?
Houston,
100%.
Houston, because they got none but draft picks.
They got what? They got like 8 first-round draft picks out of that.
Yeah, and then you think about it. Victor Oladipo is still a baller.
He's no slouch. Oladipo is no slouch, and I think Oladipo will play really well with John Wall.
Yeah,
who by the way looks good.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is you got rid of disgruntled player.
Yep.
You know, and that's the biggest thing is to get rid of somebody that's going to tear your team down, you know, and then have to rebuild from the damage that he's going to cause. If they kept him all season, think about the damage he would have caused. But by getting him out of there, now you can rebuild your team. You know what I mean? Plus, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder moving on. Every time they see Harden, they remember the words. They're going to remember, you know, him tearing them down, saying they're no good and not a championship team.
Yeah,
now you got to deal with that. Yeah.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to get the 13th guy that's sitting on the bench to go out there and get all 6 of his fouls in 2 minutes.
Oh, 100%.
Because every time Harden go to the hole and grab the ball, I make sure I foul him or I tackle him. Because there ain't no way you're going to disrespect me and think, no, you're going to just go to the hole for a layup.
This is where I miss 80s basketball. Because that's exactly what happened. Anytime he got anywhere near the hole, he's going to get laid out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that anymore. Cousins swipe at LeBron and he gets ejected. Did you see that? Did you all see that one?
Yeah. And I think if he was safe there, I think Cousins and Harden would have had. I think Cousins would have put some hands on Harden, or I think they would probably end up jumping him in the locker room because for one, you just don't say that and just think you're gonna get away with it. No, because that's just bad. No, that's just bad.
They had to move him after that.
Who's to say? Yeah. Who's to say Cousins ain't put hands on him already?
He may have already.
You could be right about him saying
Cousins don't play. Cousins is right.
He took body shots up by his abdomen. Up.
If he got problems with you, he gonna come see you.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
So let's look at it from the. Go ahead.
No, and just like I said, even though one Cat Woods even said no, he was trying to defend Harden. But for me, I just think that's a slap in the face. When you say no, we're not good enough, then that's letting me know, like, hey, no, you think we just some soft punks, and And that's what the way you just like Delawn said, you can't leave that in the locker room because that's gonna start a whole lot of problems that you don't want.
No, cause I mean, really, if I was ownership, I'd just set him down with no pay. That ends all of that. You can talk all you want.
That does, but when you look back at it, usually like you said, you got what 6 first-round draft picks for him. I get his fat strip club eating on out there and going to get my draft pick.
I mean, I'm not mad at what they got in return.
Yeah,
you know, because it is like the Herschel Walker trade. You get 6 draft picks for one person, especially number ones.
Yeah,
I can't be mad. But
they're non-protected picks. I mean, that's not going to help them in the next couple drafts because Brooklyn's picks are going to be in the 20s probably.
Yeah.
But after that, with those older stars, I mean, we don't even know if Kyrie's going to show up to games anymore. You know, he no call, no shows, like the whole bit. Like, I don't know.
No, but I think, Doc, now that Kyrie see what James just put up in that first game, Kyrie ain't gonna miss no more games because that's gonna let Kyrie know, like, ooh, I could be on my way out because he put up a triple double. No, KD put up 42 points. Mm-hmm. So what would make Brooklyn want me keep me still? So I think that's another reason why why Houston made that trade. Because Brooklyn made that trade because you can't count on Kyrie. We don't know if Kyrie gonna, like you said, gonna be there. So,
I don't think. I personally don't think it's going to bring him back. I think Kyrie on some other stuff. Like he was in there burning sage in the building and stuff. Like,
right.
I don't know, man. I think
he thinks that brings him back because if you think about it, that's basically you was in Cleveland, you wanted out, so you went to Boston. Boston, you found out when you weren't playing what the team do. They go to the playoffs, they're in there, make it to the finals without you. So you come back, they didn't do so hot. No, you basically letting you know, like, we really didn't need you because when you was here, we didn't do crap. When you was out, when you was gone, we went there and there to the finals. So you go to Brooklyn and you start off, and then you always say, well, I trust KD because he hit those big shots. No, just like I do. Then you have one game where both y'all had a chance to win a game, and not just you miss a shot, but KD missed a shot. So basically, that's when he started having them problems. Then you think, if you look back, when they missed those shots, when did Kyrie start sitting out of the games? After that game. So basically, lets people know, like, maybe Kyrie ain't right about he don't hit those big shots. Maybe KD ain't right because he don't hit those big shots. So that's letting play in his head, like, wait a minute, I put all that bullet board material out there for these other teams to see. And we didn't back it up. So is KD really what I need? So maybe I can get myself out of this by trying to go somewhere else. So it's either he gonna step up now and play, or he gonna be out of his way. And Brooklyn gonna get some more. They gonna get some draft picks back because whoever team that's gonna want Kyrie gonna have to give up some draft picks. That's where I look at it.
Well, I look at it like this: Brooklyn is in a total mess right now. You got 2 ball dominant personalities with one basketball. And let's just stop and think about it. What big shots have KD hit in the past 3 years? What big shots have Kyrie hit in the past 3 years? What big shots have Harden hit in the past 3 years? And I don't mean regular season. I'm talking about playoffs. Mm-hmm. So you have 3 people that's kind of not the man in the playoffs. So, and I saw things saying, are the Lakers worried about Brooklyn? Hell no.
No.
And shit, OG, you're right, because I remember I don't know if you've seen when Shaq was on TNT and he was talking about Harden, when he was talking about how Harden said that he gave his all to Houston, and then Shaq brought up stats. He's like, well, in the playoffs you were 1-4. He said, so how do you think you gave it your all? And when it came to your stats, you had 20? I think he said 32 points, but you had 27 turnovers. Out of 22 assists. So no, you didn't give him your all because when it came time to you doing it, you only won 1 game out of the 4 games where y'all were close to being eliminated for the playoffs. So how did you give it your all when you have nothing to show for it?
Hey, I have.
Well, you brought up scaring. You brought up the term scaring the Lakers, and I don't want to use the word scared, but you got rid of the two players that might have been X factors against the Lakers, and that's Karis LeVert and Jared Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way they play, that matchup to me would have been better for them. They're gonna hold down LeBron and KD. I mean, or not LeBron. Sorry, Harden and KD. So I don't know that you made yourself a better regular season team with this trade, I think, but not necessarily a playoff team.
No, I think the only reason you go scare the Lakers is like James Harden's at the buffet table and the Lakers are hungry and they can't get nothing to eat.
Yeah.
Man.
Hogging the bottle of Hennessy.
That's the only way you go scare them. Like, hey, y'all about to eat James Harden at the buffet table. Y'all better get something to eat.
We done. I'm done with that. Let's go back to this past Monday. The championship game. Alabama, Ohio State. Only reason I'll bring this up is Alabama now, since Saban has won 7, is Alabama now by far the best college football program ever.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's hard to argue it.
Yeah.
So we
got the rings to show for it.
Well, let's start with Marcus. We'll work our way all the way around. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah.
What you
Easily.
think?
By far. I mean, their program is going to get better and better every year. I mean, if you look at from the quarterbacks they had to what they're doing now in the league, to the running backs they had to what they're doing now in the league. I mean, everybody on their rosters, that played 4 years, 5 years ago is in the league doing something productive and big. I mean, they get championship after championship and they produce every year from whatever position it is. I mean, I don't see any other school that's going to be. No, you might catch them slipping in a regular season game, but when it comes down time, Nick Saban's going to have that team gung ho and ready to play. And when it comes to it, I'll say by far, as we always go off of championships and supposed to go off of championships and whatever, if that man has 7, I mean, and the school alone has 6, so it's just ridiculous of how good they are, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. So I would say, college-wise, the best program ever. Other schools might have other stuff that has a little bit better to their weight program or anything than that. But when it comes down, hands down, putting 11 guys, 22 guys on the field to play between those lines, it's Alabama all the way.
All right, let me switch it up for the King. King, you have a junior going to a senior year, looking at colleges. Do you look at Alabama now because of, like Marky said, each position, corner, receiver, D-line, offensive line, quarterback, and running back has come out of that school and produced in the NFL.
Right. As
a parent, do you kind of do you kind of show, hey, you can be on TV every week, scouts going to be at every game, and you will already be ready to play the pro game. So does Alabama now come on a lot of parents' list or kids' list?
I can say yes, and I can say no. I'm going to say yes because it's a good look if your kid stands out. But your kid has to be a stand-out kind of athlete. Or your kid's going to be a stand-around kind of athlete on the sideline. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of those.
So do you want to go to school and get on the field and just I go to Alabama, I got to ship, blah, 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 blah. Or do you want to have a chance to stand out somewhere else and actually play on the field, in a sense? You could push it. Knowing my kid, what's the score? Don't even say it.
Can I walk my prediction back? Can I walk it back?
Me personally, when you got five-star DBs waiting, you know what I'm saying? Look at the quarterback position that they had, who Matt Jones had to be behind.
Yeah.
Before he got on the field. And they said he actually
that's right.
he had to beat out a 5-star quarterback this season.
This year,
his third job. So could you imagine the competition that they have in practice on a weekly basis, which is good in essence, but if you're not that 5-star, 4-star, 4.2 speed, 6'2", 6'1", standout kind of guy, I would say no, because you're going to be standing around the sideline waiting to get on the field if you get on the field, because you might not make it because they recruit 5 stars every year.
And looking back at it, Bruce, if you look back at it, they're Heisman Trophy winners. How many have they had in the past 4 or 5 years?
Right. Look at the receiver. He was behind. He was behind Ruggs. Who else? Was it CD Lamb also?
CD Lamb?
No.
Yeah.
No, CD Lamb was at Oklahoma.
He was at Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma. It wasn't CD Lamb. It was Ruggs. Who else was
Ridley.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, really?
Man, I mean, you got to.
And before that, Julio Jones.
If you have patience and wait, yes. If you are just like an average, I don't know, man. You might want to. I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. I wouldn't push it personally unless a growth spurt hit and 40 pounds get on. Yes. At his size and his weight now, I would probably say, hey, you might not get on the field for a minute, but could you imagine, like I said, my thing is about the competition, man. Could you imagine the guy that you go against in practice alone? Never mind the game. Right. I'm talking about the practices within itself. That's insane.
But see,
so you got to step your game up.
And what you saying that makes the games a whole lot easier because the toughest competition is in practice.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're so good.
You know.
Yeah. But how many Alabama kids? Hold on. How many Alabama kids are from Arizona?
That's true. I
don't think I've ever heard anybody from Arizona going to Alabama to play football, ever.
Yeah.
Not saying that there's no talent that can't go out there and compete, but it doesn't happen.
No.
You know, we have a hard time.
He predominantly recruits out of Texas anyway.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen those Texas kids?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Those grown men. There was a team out there from Houston today, bro. I swear that they were 19, 20 years old. They were grown-ass men. They got sent home. Sorry. They got sent home.
But, I mean, that's
when you look at Texas question. Yeah, when you look at Texas kids are built to play. 7-on-7 is not their forte. No, it's when you put them pads on that you're gonna see these Texas kids come out and play.
Right.
All right, D. What's your take on the topic? Either one you want to talk about, Alabama or sending the kid there. Which one?
Well, I think the best team in football and college football is always Notre Dame. From a program standpoint, you can argue with me on that point.
My goodness.
Looking at championships, but there's a lot to be said about. I know a kid that I coached at GCC. He ran track for me, played football there. He got recruited off his speed to go to Louisville. So he played. He was a receiver, played at Louisville with Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
He didn't get a lot of playing time. I remember going to a game, watching him. He got a lot of special teams work, but as far as being on the field and playing, and I talked to him about the politics of him getting on the field and what happened in the off season compared to what's happening during the season, and just ranking position wise, kids coming in, things being promised to freshmen, so they get there, and then remember back in the day playing NCAA football, recruiting kids, and you'd have to promise things to get them to your school,
right?
And if you didn't fulfill that promise, they would leave. One of the best games in which they bring NCAA football back. That's a whole nother topic. But that you're right. With kids going to these huge programs, these big programs, and then not get an opportunity to play, getting some of that game film so they can move on to the next level. You got to think about that. I had a kid that ran track for me that decided to go to Grand Canyon over ASU. And I'm like, tell me how you made that decision to run track for Grand Canyon opposed to running for ASU. And it was the feel and the vibe of the school that he enjoyed. And he went on and had a great career at Grand Canyon as one of their top, sprinters in their history, but he chose Grand Canyon over ASU. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you have to. It's not always about the top program. It's about what that program is going to do for you. You know, if that program's not going to do the right thing for you, you're not going to get on the field. You know, then what do you do? So yeah, I mean that conversation alone should be had with every kid when you're looking at that kid being recruited and going to the next level. Don't get caught up with the glam. Don't get caught up with the name. What is that program going to do for you? You know, and don't get caught up with the promises as well. But you got to think about that feel and how does it feel for you as an athlete going to that school and making that decision. And really the only way to do that as a kid, talk to some of these players. You know, Devontae Neal, I coached him in high school. He went to Notre Dame, right? I was like, man, that's great. Ended up at U of A. You know what I mean? There's stories to be told there about going to these top programs and then it not being the right fit and then ending up somewhere else. So that's my take on it.
All right. Doc, what's your take?
Well, I think, I mean, Alabama. If the question is Alabama the best football program of all time, I would probably say yes, and that goes beyond the Saban era. Bear Bryant really got that thing rolling. In terms of kids going there, if it's our own kids getting recruited, similar to what King was talking about, I mean, unless your kid is not just a D1 level athlete, but in the top 5% of all D1 level athletes, I think you have to give them, you have to educate them and let them know everything that's on the table. I mean, if they want to go there because the program is esteemed, they need to know that their work ethic, whatever good work ethic got them to even get eyes on by a school like that, needs to be exacerbated by 100%. I mean, you're going to have to go that much harder to even sniff the field, and you'll be lucky to sniff it in practice, if we're honest. So you just got to make sure you lay all the cards out on the table and find what's right for them. Are they looking to get the shine, or are they looking to get the esteem? I mean, that's what it comes down to. But Bama's Bama, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard. They have all of the accolades, all of them, the national championships, the Heisman's,
in
the
every
receiver
position.
award, every position, the linebacker awards, all of it. So I mean, yeah, they're if they're not the best, they're the top 2 greatest all time football programs for sure.
Yeah. My
They're
only take
doing
from
battle
that,
in the SEC, and you're the top team in the toughest conference.
Right.
Of
Yeah,
all
that's a great point. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the battle, you know, let's take out the championship, but the battles that you're doing during the season against those storied programs, against the Auburns, you know, against the LSU,
Florida,
I mean,
Florida. Yeah.
And you're coming out on top in the SEC. Whew.
Yeah.
Athlete.
Yeah, you're a great program.
Yeah, being in SEC country and ACC country, it's
right.
It's night and day. It's
you're
a
battling
night and day
those
program.
teams. Yeah.
Every week. And
you're battling
you
those
know,
teams, and it's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, and I say that's why it was so impressive when Clemson beat Alabama, because you know the ACC is not known for football; they're known for basketball, right?
Basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they beat that, I mean, it was amazing, and I think that's what catapulted their program. You know, because you're beating the best team in the SEC. I mean, yeah, that's just amazing. You out-schemed them athlete wise. You may not have had the better athlete position by position, but you still beat the best team in the SEC.
Yeah.
Anytime you can do that, man, that's a you need a
That's
medal for
the
that.
belt. It's the match of the belt.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let's switch topics real quick. And it was my fault. We didn't even do this in the beginning. But Marcus or D, please explain to us, what is the Speed Killz podcast and what do you guys talk about and what do you guys do?
Oh man, D, go ahead. I'm gonna let you explain it. No, D, because I know I always get to explain this stuff. So I know since I created it, I don't want to be always talking about it. So I'm gonna let you have this honor, Delawn, and go ahead and talk about it, man.
I mean, so what we do is we go back and we like to talk to people, and we like to get their story, their experience, as far as what they've done, as far as being an athlete through any facet of their of their athletic ability, where they've been, when they were younger, they made it to professional level, collegiate level, wherever it may be. We like to hear their story and share their story. So that's what we do. We interview athletes, former athletes, current athletes. We get their story, and we ask the questions not just about how great you are and tell us how great you are, but tell us your story coming up. What inspired you to stay with sports? How has sports influenced you? What message can you send to the athletes now? What kind of experiences can you share with them? So that's what we do. We like to talk to people, and then what we're doing as well is we're expanding. And now what we want to do is we want to become that platform for Arizona athletes. So we've talked about this before. There's athletes in Arizona, but for some reason, the news doesn't cover our athletes. Man, there's been athletes that come out of Arizona that are in Division I programs right now, that starting quarterbacks in Division I programs around the United States that we never knew how good they were in high school. Why is that? So one of the things that we've been looking at doing now is expanding, and we want to talk to those athletes. We want to give them a platform where they can come and show us their film, because we have Huddle, and Huddle is that that game film for every kid in every sport. We want to get that message out, and we want to help them to build and grow, and then really start to highlight Arizona more so than what Arizona athletes are being highlighted or have been, for years. Because I'm telling you, there's athletes in Arizona from back in the day that we don't even know about because no one talks about. Then we have athletes that are here right now that are doing great things that we don't know about. So that's what we're out to do. Marcus, whatever I left out.
No, hey man, you touched on it all. No, you hit it at the park, man. But so yeah, so that's what we're looking for, man. We just definitely we try to be the mouth for the kids that don't have that mouth to do, don't have that platform to be heard. So that's what we're trying to do. Not just give back just to the old heads, but also to the new generations that's moving forward. So they're like, hey, get them out there so they can be heard, also. Not just like what we did in the past, but what they gonna do, just not in the past, but also in the future.
Gotcha. Okay, well then, thank you for that. And 4G Nation, information will be in the description below. Please check them out as you check us out, and we're gonna continue to do what we do. King, you got something on your mind there, brother.
What you mean?
You in deep thought, or you worried about your team?
No,
you worried about your team?
First of all, I'm not worried, for one. No, I had the honor of being on the Speed Killz a few months back. I had a lot of fun, man, and like I said, and seeing what you guys are doing out there for the youth, and bringing back old memories from the guys that I've seen grow up in high school, having their own little programs out there doing their thing. I think you guys are doing a good job, man. Y'all keep up what you guys are doing, man. It's huge. Because we got to have a voice out here. That's most definitely.
Thanks, Chris. And Chris, I want to ask you, as you having a son that's playing, high school football right now, and since there's no JUCOs in Phoenix, how do you prepare your son? Like, hey, if you want to go to that next level of playing football, you will have to end up leaving, your state. So how do you get that? How do you talk to Jeremiah about that? About just as a parent, you have to leave because since there's no JUCO football out here. And I was talking to one of my buddies about how we gotta have these kids now. We gotta instill in them like, you're great. If you want to do your football career, you're gonna have to do it outside of your home state, unless you go D1 and you end up at ASU or NAU or U of A. But you are gonna have to leave your state to go play. Phoenix. You're gonna actually have to leave Phoenix. How do you talk to them about that?
I just keep it 100 with it, man, and have those dialogues, and we always go on like the rivals top 100, 150, and see where these kids are going and checking out their stats, and just being up front, man. You might have to leave home to go pursue your dream. If it's California, if it's New Mexico, if it's Utah, wherever it's at, as long as the school is free, and that's huge for us. As long as you're happy, you like it, we love it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're happy and you want to go where you want to go and pursue the dream that you want to pursue, we're all in. He's all in. He has the grades. He has the attitude. Marcus, you met the kid. He's real humble, real quiet. Let's get the job done. Always working, consistently working. I don't think any coach would be disappointed in this young man if they give him that man a shot. Period. So just staying in his ear and having everyone besides myself have that dialogue with him, you know, so it's not just coming from dad consistently. Hearing it from other guys who've actually been down that road, I think is huge. That's huge.
Yeah. Because you know, because a lot of kids got to understand that's going to happen. If you want to, you know, continue your football career after your senior year in high school, especially like a lot of these kids are not given that chance to keep competing because, you know, the pandemic that's going on, that you actually going to have to leave home. I mean, unless if you're running track or basketball, or playing softball or soccer, yeah, you can stay home. But for football, you got to leave, you know, your state. So it's just for like some of these kids, they just got to understand that, you know, to continue your career, you will have to leave.
Right.
Well, Marcus, let's be honest. That's for every sport in Arizona.
Yeah.
You know, and you can go back years. I'm talking about years, and look at how many of our top athletes went to ASU, U of A, NAU. You know, there's not too many, and I mean, you look at even with ASU and an opportunity that they had to win the Rose Bowl years back, who they get beat by. They got beat by a local kid at a different school, you know, but a lot of our athletes are leaving and going somewhere else. And for some reason, I don't know why, that's just the climate of Arizona where our kids are leaving. I just have to leave. I really don't understand what's going on where we can't keep local kids. So now, you know, you become a fan of not really ASU and U of A as much because your kids that you watched over the years, even your kids that, you know, that are in your house, they're going to a different state and playing, you know, and now you're a fan of that state. You're a fan of that school. That's just, I don't know. That's Arizona.
Right. Yeah, but I was looking at it. My bad, but I was looking at it at a JUCO level because you know, like all these JUCO, since JUCOs are not out here anymore, and some of these kids are not honored. You know, we don't wake up and they're not like Doc said. When you try to go D1, if you're not in that top 10, 15% in your state, that you're going somewhere and you think you can go to Alabama and you know they got 20 monsters lined up in each position. It's like how you gonna get on that field. So when you at the JUCO level and you're like, hey, I want to continue playing football, I know I have to leave state. You know, and that's the sad part for these kids because some of these kids have the aspiration of playing football at the next level, but it's sad that they can't do it in their own state because we don't have JUCO football anymore.
But also the mentality a lot of these kids have out here now, Mark, is that D1 or bust mentality. You know, and I think that's a horrible mentality to have, man. I mean, no one ever preaches HBCU schools. No one ever says D2 is good. I've never seen a degree that said HBCU or D2 or D3 on it before. You know, you're going to school to get a degree. Period.
Yeah.
So, King, what do you think the driving force is to that? Do you feel like that's us as parents? Is it just society dictating because that's who's on TV? I mean, I think some of it as parents, I mean, the blessing is I know my boy, he just ain't even going to be big enough to be a D1 football player for college football. He just, the reality is we're not built that way. I mean, I don't really care how good he is. It's just not going to happen. So for me, it's the conversations in the household saying, hey, look, there's these other options.
Right.
And hopefully able to get through to them.
Go ahead, D.
I speak on that. It's the coaches.
Yep.
Who's the biggest influence in your life when it comes to sports? It's not your parents. It's your coaches. I've had, coaches come to me and say, can you talk to my kid because you're saying the same thing I'm saying, but for some reason they're going to listen to you as their coach opposed to me as a parent. But if you look at coaches, what do coaches always talk about? Division One. You know, what do coaches hang their accolades off of? Division One. I got this kid at this school. I got this kid at this school. They don't talk small school.
Yeah.
They don't talk about just going to school at the next level, wherever it may be, and making it. Coaches don't talk about that. And that's the biggest influence in a kid's life. You know, when it came to me moving on to the next level, it wasn't my parents that talked to me about going. It was the coaches, right?
Yeah.
Went to the coach, you're like, you should be playing. Okay, coach, no problem, I'm going.
Yeah.
So I think I think if the coaches started to change their tune and the way they talked about success at the next level, and they stopped bringing up the names of these big schools, but bring up the names of schools that are here and the possibility of going to those schools, I think then you'll be more successful. But the coaches aren't seeing it, and they're the biggest influence.
Yeah,
my opinion.
because I think the way as Delawn said that, because a lot of these coaches hang their hat on accolades, in the coaching game. If you look at some of these football coaches and out here in Phoenix, everything they talk about is how many wins they got and where their kids went. And they never said that I had a kid that went to junior college. You'll be lucky if you get a coach that says that, because they always want to let them know what their highest level of kid went to. I had 5 kids that went D1. I had a couple kids that went D2, but they never say, I had my number 1 wide receiver ended up at JUCO high school. They never say that. It was because and it's always about D1, and then so then it gets so bad that not all parents, but some of these parents read into that. Like, I want my kid to go D1. So they give them 15 trainers. Now, those 15 trainers is great to have, but when it comes down to at the end of the day, is what your kid do. It's not what the trainers do. You can train everything. You can be the fastest. You can do have the height and all that in the vertical. But when it comes down to it, it's like, what does those videotapes show that you did?
Yeah.
Right. So if you went out there and you blazed them, you ran a 4.1, you more than chance that you have a great opportunities to go to that D1. But if you run in a 4.1 and you 5.3, 5.5, most likely you won't be a D1 product. If you get there, like Chris said, you're gonna stand on the sideline watching. You're gonna be a great practice player. You're gonna be a great practice player. Woo! Like
you're gonna be like Rudy at Notre Dame.
Yeah, you're gonna be a great practice player. So when it comes down to it, is like these kids gotta understand. It's like, if you don't make it D1, it's okay. You can go to an HBCU, you can go to a Division II. You can go to MIAA. You can do all that. But they gotta understand that. But when you have these coaches always pushing D1, 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 everybody's not built for D1. If that's the case, then we all should win D1. But it wasn't. It didn't happen for us like that. We had other guys that was a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little faster that went to D1. But when we went, we did our thing, and that's what our kids got to understand. If you don't go to D1, you can go somewhere else and still have the opportunity to go to the next level. But you got to give yourself that opportunity. Don't always think about it's going to either be D1 or bust, because if you're not leading your state in touchdown passes, no rushing yards, rushing TDs, most likely you ain't gonna be a D1 kid. Let's be straight about that. If you're not the top 5 in your state of Arizona, you're not gonna be a D1 kid. I don't care what anybody tell you. They can blow smoke up your butt, but you're not gonna be a D1 kid. Most likely you're gonna go to JUCO, or you're gonna go to another school and do your thing, and that's great. It ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Rudy could have playing time at a different school, more than likely with his work ethic and practice.
Right. Yeah.
No, but
strong school.
I think it's a combination of all three, which I also include the student athlete in that. Because if you do your research, you will find out Hall of Famers came out of HBCUs. You will find out some of the top receivers came from JUCO, then went to a top program and got drafted. Yeah. Chad Ochocinco, Steve Smith Jr. Senior. I mean, so I still think the athletes have to do their research as well as the parents. Newton. Right. Cam Newton as well. So, King, you know what it's time for, baby. Yes,
let me add something to what Marcus said. Yes. Parents will pay for 15 trainers, but won't even pay for one tutor for a kid that's struggling in class.
Now, Chris,
that's the problem. Because you can get the D1 with the grades regardless. Right. Yeah. If you don't have the grades, you're not going.
And being out there at that 7-on-7 today, I was, I kind of like analyze things like how many of these kids that are out here talking all of this trash have any Power 5 or any looks with all the ego and attitude that they present out there.
Probably about 10%.
Maybe 10. And there's probably 5,000 kids out there this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I said. Probably about 10%.
That's crazy. For all them kids that had all that attitude and ego and trash talking and doing backflips and all that nonsense. What's your GPA? Where are your parents at? and where are you going to school next year? Period.
And see, and that's what people don't know. And like me and Delawn used to always talk about that. It's called student athlete, and some of these kids think it's called athlete student. No, it's student athlete because if you don't have the grades, you ain't gonna make it to the first. You ain't gonna make it to the first semester, and you're gonna be sent right back home, or you're gonna be on probation. And then once that second term come up, and you still got the same grade that you got first semester, you're gonna be right back home anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So what people don't like OG said, if you got the D1 grades, you're gonna go D1. It might not be to play professional sports, but you're gonna go. Like my wife, she went D1. I can't even say I went D1. She went D1. She went to Florida State. She got a PhD. Hey, you still can go D1. It might not be, hey, I play football, but you still went to D1 school. And that's what some of these kids got to understand. It's not always about being an athlete, because sometimes you be an athlete, you pay for it in the long run with bad hips, bad knees, and all that stuff. But you go for for your mind. You got that mind right. You gonna do a lot of things after what most football players and basketball players retire. You still got the right body, frame, mindset where you can go on and put up these things in your life, and I have to worry about if my knee's gonna fall out, do I need a knee replacement, all this other stuff.
Those who can't play no more, coach now.
Yes,
there you go. Those that can't do, teach.
You right about that.
Fact.
Go ahead, King. It's our favorite subject right now.
So I flipped it last week though. It's like I had the same flip.
Hey, well, I don't think D answered the first one, so Marcus can answer the flip, and D answers the original.
Okay, so I'll ask D first.
Right.
Okay, same thing we always ask every guy, every person. Kobe versus LeBron. Who you got? And you better say the right one.
Yeah. Cut off right now.
Wow. 1-on-1?
Just
I've always thought about it too. Anytime we look at it, we always think of it from a team perspective. You know what I'm saying? You look at it from a team perspective, but 1-on-1, I'd love to fight in Kobe, you know what I'm saying, in a 1-on-1, you know what I mean? Because he's just gonna do whatever it takes to win. I mean, that tenacity, that Mamba mentality will come out, and from a team standpoint, it's a little bit different. But 1-on-1, I'm going with Kobe.
Okay.
All right, you can stay. You can stay.
We won't kick you off just yet. So I flipped it last week.
Now flip it.
So Marcus, I'm gonna go with you first. Which Kobe was better, number 8 or number 24?
Woo! Man, you give me the young bull versus the old lion?
Mm-hmm.
Can I take out his first couple of games when he was shooting air balls?
No.
Oh man. Woo! I'm gonna have to go with the relentless young Kobe, because that kid when he was young, and like I said, I was still an MJ fan, but when Kobe was young and Mike was still kind of on his way down, but not as to the end. That young Kobe he was a beast. And I hate to say that the stuff he did on the basketball court, man, was just phenomenal. I mean, he made moves, hit big shots. He did it. I mean, he did it all. And when he got partnered up with Shaq, it was just between them two, averaging about 30 to 32 points a game. Right. And I would just say that young Kobe was just a beast.
Killer.
No, he had that. No, he had that what MJ had when he got into the league. His first season, he just had that killer mentality. He was an assassin. I mean, he didn't care. He didn't care if you were a legend, a Hall of Famer, or going to be one of those. He was going out there to take your heart. And if you didn't match his intensity, like the same with Jordan back in his day, if you didn't match Jordan's intensity, he was going to let you have it. And that young Kobe was just a monster. And that number 8 was just beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, D, it's on you.
Oh, okay. I didn't think I wasn't prepared for that. But I like what Mark. I like what Mark. I was thinking back and I'm reflecting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at MJ and his career, and you know MJ had Pippen the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at Kobe, young Kobe, when he had Shaq, and I was thinking to myself, like, what happened when Shaq left? Who became that second person that Kobe could rely on? And no one really came to mind. You know what I mean? And I think if Kobe would have had his Shaq, you know, whoever could have replaced Shaq moving forward, well, you know, what would the Lakers have looked like? How many championships would they have won? And I think because he didn't have his Shaq, he had to reinvent his game. You know what I'm saying? So he started to reinvent his game. He had to do some things differently to kind of hold that team down. But he never had that number two. The Lakers could never find that number two. So I do like young Kobe, but I think that Mamba mentality came out when he lost Shaq.
Right.
I think that Mamba mentality came out like, look, I don't have anybody else. Now it's on me, right? Now I got to do it. So I think that I think 24. I think I like 24 better than 8. I think who we remember now is we remember Mamba, right? Which Mamba came after Shaq left.
Yeah.
I have to beg to differ on that one. The Mamba mentality came out during that series when he was in Colorado. When all that madness happened during the playoffs, that's when the Mamba mentality came out. When you in court all day.
Oh, you mean when he digged the girl down? I mean when he
Yeah, you gotta have to go there. Because if we're gonna talk about greatness, we gotta talk about the whole thing.
I mean when he left, he didn't cuddle up with the girl. He didn't want to cuddle with her. She got mad.
The one he left a tip, and she didn't want to leave a tip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The one he didn't want to. She wanted to cuddle. He didn't want to cuddle. He's like, hey, you
gotta go.
The goat comes right by the door. Go ahead and go about your business.
Right.
Wow.
But to me, that's when the Mamba mentality came about, because you're going from trying to save your life to going to play a game.
Yeah.
And you have to switch. You have to switch in a matter of moments. And for you to be in court all day, take a 3-hour flight, and probably get there 45 minutes before a playoff game, and still give me 25 to 30 points and the best player on the court. That's when the Mamba mentality was born. And the second part of what you said about him not finding that second, they didn't find the second until they got Paul Gasol.
Paul Gasol, yeah.
That's when they won the next two.
That's when he was $45 million slider in the pocket for not wanting to cover that night.
But like you said, the 24, if the 8 had a little bit more of the maturity of the 24,
yeah.
But that's why I like the 8, because he was young and he had that like when we were young, we had that killer instinct. Like you couldn't tell us nothing. Like we knew everything. No, and that's what I love about the 8, because you go out there and you shoot 2 air balls and you don't care about it. You go like okay, I know, and then the next season you come out and you up your game. And that's what I like about it, because when you're young, you young, you don't care. You don't care about that stuff. You're like, hey,
that's
it is. Yeah, and that's what I loved about it. That's the same thing MJ had. MJ had that when he was, his first 5 years, 6 years in the league, he went out there, just destroyed cats and didn't care. And then talk about you like we best friends. I don't care about it. We're not best. When we on that court, you're not best friends. And that's what I liked about 8. He's like, hey, I had a bad rookie season shot, whatever. But next he out there dunking on you, taking your lunch money and everything. And that's what I liked about it.
8 was out for blood every night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even when he had the space boost Adidas on, the Moon Clippers.
That's one of the differences. Like you bring up, 8 was out for blood. 24 was still a stone cold killer, but 8 was out for blood every night.
24 is like a 24 was a husband then, a father. So he didn't have like, I want to go out there and kill everybody. He's just I'm gonna give you this work and then I'm going about my business.
He was the sneaky assassin.
Yeah, that's what I said. He wasn't that when he was young and he wasn't tied down. I'm gonna give you this work. No, I'm gonna put it on you and I'm gonna let you know about that. 24 was like, I'm a humble man. I'm going to give you this little work and I'm going back and chill with the family. No, that's the way I look at it.
8 was a Marine on the front lines. 24 is a sniper in the back of the building. That's the way I look at it.
24 is kind of 24 wasn't that he like you said, he had that mama mentality. He wasn't dunking on people as much. He had to know little fade away. Stuff. No, number eight was he was coming to your chest. He was giving you that smoke. He'll meet you at the rim. He'll meet you at the rim and let you know. And look down at you like let you know. With the
That's why that's a good analogy, OG. Having served with infantry Marines, that's exactly what infantry Marines are like. Like number 8,
right.
they're gonna come hang.
Yeah,
they're gonna come hang their business on your forehead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
And then them sniper Marines are like, you know what? We're gonna kill you, and you don't even know we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's all I like number 8 because, like you said, he let you know he wanted all the smoke.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yep.
24 wasn't scared of no smoke neither. Now.
No, but 20.
Don't get it twisted.
No, but when you at 24, but when he was in his older years, you already know what you was gonna get from Kobe. When he was still running that.
But that's
you didn't know. You knew he was gonna bring it every day. 24, you already knew he was gonna get it, but when he was still young, he was gonna give it to you. I mean, constantly give it to you. 24 was kind of sneaky. Like I don't have to tell you what I'm gonna do. No, because you already know you're gonna get it. It's gonna happen.
Who played better defense, 8 or 24?
8. If you go back and look at all the games, 8 played defense like a hawk. If you go back and look at the games, go back and look. 24.
It's the same thing.
24 didn't play, no, because you gotta understand, going down towards later years, Kobe wasn't playing defense like he was, when he was wearing number 8.
But you had better defensive players on your team at 24, so you didn't have to do as much.
Oh, okay, so that lets you know number 8 played better defense.
But what I'm saying is, 8 thought he had to do everything. 24 realized it's a team game. So I don't have to put all my pressure, all my energy to guard the best player because I have 2 other guys that can do that.
Okay,
I'll sag off, play the third option that I know they ain't gonna shoot it. I can do what I need to do.
Yeah, but that's why. But he said
I was the main guy.
But he said he played better defense. So number 8 played. So let's let you just said right for yourself. Number 8 played better defense. Number 24.
But it depends on what kind of defense you want.
Well, when you play defense, you play defense. I mean, are you lockdown defense? So what are you talking about? Lockdown defense, or we talk about zone defense?
No, they never played zone.
No, that's why. But I mean, you just said he's saying. But he's saying
what I'm saying is this: at 8, I'm 1-on-1 with your best player.
Mm-hmm.
At 24, I don't need to be on your best player. I give someone else that's all they're gonna do is play defense. They put all the energy on defense. I can go around and play defense on everything else. So
because Jordan did the same thing. Yeah, because Jordan did the same thing. So I see what you said.
When did he go from 8 to 24?
Right after.
You know what year?
Right after Shaq.
Well,
give me 2 seconds.
Was it his 10th season?
So because it's almost exactly halfway, right?
Yeah, because it's halfway because the points mirrored each other.
So then let's answer it like this: he had 12 all defensive team selections, right? 8 of those came before his 10th year. So 8 was probably the better defensive player.
Yeah, he changed it. He changed it before the 2006-2007 season. So he was already in the league for 10 years.
Yes, he had already made all defensive team 8 times by then. which means there's
So
only
there's
4
nothing
left.
to prove.
Of his 12 selections, there's only 4 left after he turned to number 24.
But I already
So
proved
that
it. I
right
had to
there
do it in the
tells
first
you
day.
he was the better
Right.
defender at 8.
I have
you
one more
wanna look at
question.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, man. Who's a better quarterback, Wentz or Prescott?
Prescott.
Prescott.
It definitely ain't Prescott, so I'm not even gonna get into this one. It's not
Our
Prescott.
quarterback didn't get benched.
I
Our
don't
quarterback
care.
didn't get benched.
Yikes.
Your quarterback didn't finish the season. How you gonna get benched? He was already on the bench. he was in the surgery room.
King is trying to start a
better
whole
run
other
than
hour episode.
Prescott. Next.
There goes instigator over there.
He was already in the surgery room.
I'm over
Put
here
that ankle
instigating.
back together.
I'm going to answer it with this. We want to thank Speed Killz Academy for coming out. Killz podcast, Mr. Marcus Jones, Delawn, and you know, out to you, Art. I know you ain't feeling well. Hopefully you get better. Thank you all for joining the show.
Thank you.
All Speed Killz podcast information will be available in our show description. We want to, as usual, thank all of our subscribers, all of our listeners, all of our followers. You know what I say, man. Get on there, subscribe, hit that bell. That way you know when we're going live and indirect. You can catch us right when our show is premiering. We like to communicate with you all back and forth with that chat, so keep it coming. This episode of 4G Sports, as OG indicated earlier in the episode, is brought to you by My Cozy Creations, Ms. Daphne Cozy. For me, I want to sign off, and I want to shout out King's basketball team. Not King. I'm not shouting you out, man. I'm shouting your basketball team out because the AIA went ahead and approved that, and they get to play, man. They get to play ball. So any of you going out there, yeah, for real, that's applause, man. So let's let these kids play ball, man. I don't care what everybody's thoughts are on everything going on, man. If you're allowed to go watch, wear a daggone mask, man. Like, it's really that simple. Like, let these kids play because that's what they're out here to do. I know, King, your team's taking donations. I donated, and I hope we can post that link and get some more donations for your team. And I love you all, man. I'm glad Speed Killz podcast came on here. I think it just enriched the show that much more.
Thank you.
Yeah, Marcus, what do you got? What do you got for your send off, Marcus?
I just got his 2 words: blow out. Other than that, hey, y'all take care of yourselves. Have a good night, man. And hey, Chris, take care, man. I hope you have a great football season. I'm looking forward to having you and nephew on, and enjoy the rest of the Sunday. And I hope y'all score more than 3 points.
Oh my goodness. Delon, what's your shout outs? What's your sign off, Delon? Give it to us.
Fellas, thank you for having me on. Thank you for having us on. We appreciate it, you know. And as we said before, you know, we're here for Arizona. We're here for Arizona athletes, Arizona coaches, Arizona sports, you know, the same way you guys are here as well and doing it. So we appreciate the support, appreciate the love, and can't wait to do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
King.
You know, I want to give a shout out to my little freshman squad, man. We beat the brakes off JV twice this past week. Man, we ran that diamond on them, man.
The diamond press.
They were struggling, but I got to give a shout out to my little boys, man. I have one kid that wasn't doing too hot in school. Got him a tutor. He is now eligible to play on Tuesday. So I'm happy for that happening. So I take my boys every day. Have a good day at school. I know these guys have IEPs and, you know, special education classes. This is when, you know, during this pandemic, they're at home working. Just, you know, pray for those kids that are at home working, man, without the support that they need on campus. That's the main thing.
Awesome,
Yes,
awesome.
sir. All right. Well, first of all, let's give a shout out to the Speed Killz podcast for even coming out. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Doc, one more time. Slide over, Doc.
What is that?
It ain't looking too good.
That
Yeah,
says
they looking too
16-3, KC.
What does that mean?
That means,
That means y'all losing.
hey, let me tell you something, man. That means we were wrong, brother.
Hey, it really don't mean nothing in the first half. It really don't mean nothing in the first half. One score, right?
I don't think that's supposed to be more than one score because they're sitting on about the 20, about to be out, in the end zone. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be on, man.
He drops back the pass.
You
He
guys.
scrambles.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's Tyree.
Oh. Oh.
Timeout.
First
All
is
right.
over. All right. That's my shout out. Other than that, everybody, thank y'all for watching as always. And we are out of control, unscripted once again. But we just want to thank you. And like I always say at the end of the show, you can like, follow, and comment and share on all our social media platforms. Thank you for watching once again. We'll see y'all next week. 4Gs, you know what we say. We out.
Peace.